everybody. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan. Two opinions, one topic. Episode 80. Robocop. Really awesome classic action movie. I don't even know if it's an action movie. It's like a science fiction.
Yeah.
Gore fest is more like what it is. It's not incredible amount of action. There's an incredible amount of blood.
Mm-hmm. Violence, yeah.
Yeah, so released in 1987 by Orion, who was just killing it back then. Orion and Karolko.
Oh, yeah, when you saw those logos come up, you knew you were in for a treat.
You knew you were in for a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, directed by Paul Verhoeven. And I think this is right before he did Total Recall.
Yeah.
So he had only done some artsy type films at this point. He hadn't getting into this action stuff he's kind of known for now. So this is his first foray into it. Didn't like the script, turned it down twice. His wife read it and said there's some nuance here. I think you should look at it deeper. And he agreed. Yeah, have you seen the trailer of this with the Terminator theme?
Yeah,
the original teaser.
I haven't seen it recently. I just grabbed a trailer before we started recording. I didn't watch it; I just grabbed it. But I have seen it, and it always made me wonder, like, oh, did they? Because at that time when I saw the trailer, I didn't realize what came first. I'm like, oh, did the RoboCop thing come first, and Terminator stole it? But Terminator definitely came out before.
Yeah, it was just Karolko.
RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this feels like an Arnold movie. Like this could have been Arnold with Verhoeven, and it would have been pretty fucking awesome. It's still pretty awesome, but I guess they needed someone really slim for the suit. Very slender, because it's fucking, the suit's crazy, dude. It's like actually like drilled together and stuff. And when you see Peter Weller like in parts of the suit, you realize how crazy it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he went through a lot of training for this, like with a miming coach, and getting the like.
Oh yeah, like the twists and
the
turns.
Bird.
Mm-hmm.
The bird. He said that they looked at birds, and it looks really good the way he moves and stuff. But yeah, cop. First day on the force. Peter Weller, he's pretty good in this. Even before he's RoboCop, he's such a difference he plays in how he plays it as the robot and the human, that it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the end, you can see the humans kind of trying to leak out of the robot somehow.
Yeah,
but
Murphy.
Yeah, it starts off with those awesome Verhoeven commercials, which are just great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he goes on to do those again in Starship Troopers. Those are pretty fun too.
Yeah, he has some of that in Total Recall too.
Mm-hmm.
Recall.
Oh yeah, that's right. How can I forget?
Insurgency on Mars. How safe is your air? Yeah. The beginning, it's not much to it. They kind of throw you right in there. He gets transferred. You realize that OCP is Omni Computer Products has taken over running the police force in Detroit. So they they run it. They finance it, and everything's getting like divvied out, and this company runs the police.
Yeah, they're like
Murphy,
the police department's like overwhelmed by like crime and like resources are scarce kind of deal. It's kind of dystopian Detroit.
Yeah, they're all driving matte black Ford Tauruses. The shittiest car you can imagine. But yeah, he gets transferred to Detroit. He's from somewhere else. And why'd you transfer here, Murphy? I don't know. I think OCP's sending a lot of new people down here. He had to die. So he goes out on his first run with Lewis. This is a cool character, Officer Lewis. I don't remember her name, if it even tells you her name other than Lewis.
Is it Annie or something? Anne?
Yeah, they do mention it, huh? Like Anne Lewis or something.
Same with Murphy.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they just say Murphy the whole movie, but I think is it Alex?
Alex Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And there's a good chemistry with them in the beginning, where he's like, "Here," where she's like, "Here, I'll drive. You're new." And then he was like, "I usually drive when I'm breaking in a new, sidekick, or well, not sidekick, a new partner."
Partner, yeah.
There's some good back and forth, but I don't think they let the relationship breathe enough to
Yeah.
make you really care that he's dying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This movie could have been twice as long, I think, and it would have still been interesting. You could go into way more of the before he's RoboCop, and you can go into way more of after he's RoboCop. This is like so much more you want to see. And they did make some sequels, but they were pretty stupid.
Yeah, I was surprised at how little they developed really anything. I mean, the movie just fucking flies by, but in a crazy way, it still works. Like, they don't really
Yeah.
spend a whole lot of time on Murphy. They don't spend a lot of time with Lewis or the relationship or his backstory. They dabble in it with some of the memory stuff, but they kind of just don't carry or they don't care about most of that at all. They just kind of like, here's the plot, and then we're just gonna go with it. Murder,
Yeah.
death.
I like the second one, I think, is with the nuke, right? I think that's the second one where they put the serial killer's like brain into the fucking like new Ed 209. I was like, what the fuck? Nuke. But oh yeah, and he goes and they're stopping the Bodiger gang. First of all, Clarence Bodiger. He's one of the most ridiculous bad guys I've ever seen in cinema. It works somehow in this cheesy 80s movie, but he tries to play it so hard and such a badass, but he just seems like a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Red Foreman from that 70s show. He seems like more of a hard ass in that 70s show than he does
Yeah.
in this. It's,
And he just
you
looks like
burn
a
them-
science teacher.
Yeah. And he's like, they're obviously doing a bank robbery and all the money's burned. You burn the money, goddammit! And every time he gets angry, it seems like he's just fucking forcing it. He's still,
Yeah.
"It's as good as Mark now, you idiot!" And then he goes and hits him, and he's like, "Ugh." He's like, you can tell he's pulling his punches, and like, either you're pissed off and you're hitting him, or you're not. And then he's just
Yeah.
kind of, and it's so funny every time. He just does it. It seems so weird.
Your impression reminds me of like it could be in a scene of like Turtles cartoon in the back of a van, just some, oh, you burned the money.
Oh man, but he's funny and he's good.
He's got some memorable lines.
Oh yeah. And they like that scene. It's so good. There's a cop coming on us, man. Well, punch it. I can't outrun a cop in this heap. They're in a big ass van. Then open the door. What? Open the door. They open the door. Where'd he go? Whoa, he disappeared. No, he's on the fucking side, dude. What are you doing? Oh, shoot him over there. And they all got like fucking shotguns. And that's when it just starts right there. That's like the gunshots never stop. I'm like, kind of from this point. Just go. And then Murphy's like dun, 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 hanging out the car with two little ass pistols.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you. Like, goddamn, these little pistols, dude.
Man.
Hanging out the car, and they got the driver facing, like, right next to the shotgun. Shoot them before they kill me!
Oh, God.
And then right off the bat, we get a good scene from Bodiger when his buddy gets shot. And for some reason, he decides, oh, you know what? He's shot. A good plan would be to throw this guy at the cops, I think. That's what helped us get away. Anyways, they hold him. And he's like, what? And he's like, no, Clarence, no! Can you fly, Bobby? Throw him out the window. I
Yeah.
love that, man.
That's a great line.
Can you fly, Bobby?
His fucking delivery of it.
And then you get the henchman crew, like the Italian kind of guy. He's really funny. The greasy red hair guy, he's really good. I'm always watching I'd buy that for $1 shit.
Oh, yeah.
Every time the fake TV show, I think they filmed that first, is what I read somewhere or saw in a documentary. Like they filmed all the I'd buy that for $1 thing first. They're just like, well, we don't have any that. Oh yeah, because they had to film everything they could because the suit was like never ready. Always had problems. and so they're just filming everything they could without a suit. But that show, every time they put it on, I just silly to me. Within like 4 seconds, the guy's laughing hysterically, and there's nothing that's happened in the show. I got you, like, there's a hot chick. I got you a present, and it's like another hot chick. Whoa! And then, oh, fuck, bro, Jesus Christ, watch this show, man. This is hilarious. like Detroit is so fucking fucked up that like this show is the funniest shit you've ever seen in your life. This is an escape. And then when he says the titular line, I buy that for fuck, turn it off. I'm going to have a heart attack. Jesus Christ. This guy's too goddamn funny. I just thought that was every time, man. As soon as they just turn it on, like the old couple, and the old man's just like, he hasn't even spoken yet. Clarence, God, stop.
It's funny for us, though, in a satirical way, because it's so fucking stupid.
It's so good. I want to know what that guy's doing who starred in the I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah.
How'd that guy's life go after this? So, yeah, we get that brutal, where they get to the place they're going to, and then they have to go in there, and they're like asking for backup. There's no backup. This is Detroit. Yeah, fucking, it's going to be 4 hours. Oh, shit. And he says to Lewis, it's your call. Let's do it. Alrighty. Walk in. And all of it's pretty good. Like the chick finds the token black dude of the group. It's just ridiculous. Every time it's seen, it's like
yeah, his laugh, man.
Some whiny. Hey, man. He's kind of like Benny from fucking Total Recall.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Hey, I got 5 kids, man.
I got 5 mouths to feed.
What happened to number 6? Oh, you got me, man. I'm a fucking alien. So anyways, he's peeing, and she pulls up behind him. This bitch has always got her. I can't spit out her goddamn gum. Even on the job. Comes up behind him, gun drawn. Pops her bubble gum. Makes him turn around. Freeze. And then I love that, can I zip up? And there's this awesome moment where she's just staring him in the eye. And he's staring her in the eye, and he knows she's going to check it. She's going to check that dong, baby. And then you see her eyes just go down, and then knocks a gun out of her hand and knocks her off the balcony. She falls down. And he has to look over and go, do a little cackle.
Oh, God.
And then Murphy, Peter Weller's character, finds the redhead dude watching that show, of course. I'd buy that for $1. And then freeze. Dude grabs his shotgun. Don't try it. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Mm-hmm. That's his signature phrase. How many times did you say that as a kid? And if I remember correctly, there were toys of this as a kid. And I don't know if it took till the sequels or the cartoon before the toys came out. But I bet it was toys for this first one, because there was toys for fucking Terminator. It's like all these rated R franchises just get toys. Like, hey, kids, you want to watch this?
Yeah.
And we loved it. And we're fine. We're fine.
It could have been like around Robocop 3. So I think Robocop 3 is really watered down, and I think it's PG-13 from what I remember. It's a little more family friendly. So that could have been.
And it did get a cartoon show too.
Yeah.
Multiple ones, if I'm not mistaken. But he gets the redhead guy, then all the other dudes show up and ambush him, and it's a pretty good scene.
Brutal. This is a fucking
I mean,
scene.
it's a brutal scene. It would have meant so much more if we would have got to know Murphy more, man. Maybe a day in the life of him and his wife, before move-in and stuff, right? It could mean so much more. It means a lot, and the only reason it means a lot right now is because it's so brutal.
Yeah,
like if you don't need to know the guy to know that that's fucked up, right? But if you knew the guy, whoo, even more fucked up.
Make it even more, It's a extremely violent and uncomfortable scene. Even though it is kind of B movie ish, like this movie's kind of absurd with its violence and over the top, but it doesn't make it any less like horrible to watch. Like this is basically a torture scene. If you think about it.
Verhoeven is the king of fucking squibs, dude.
Yeah.
Like, go back and watch Total Recall, how many squibs are blown off in that, and how many in this, and like good old gun shooting where you use squibs and it looked fucking brutal. Nowadays, is if it's stupid CG fucking blood holes and shit, and it's so dumb. But this is just shit blowing up, and squibs are dangerous, man. It's an explosive on your body. You could easily get hurt with that. And it's like, imagine these guys, fuck,
Yeah.
Probably feeling that.
It looks realistic though. I mean, it blows the material, the clothing off of whatever they're wearing.
Yeah, then there's
fabric of that.
Then there's
blood.
there's like a skin flap that can open and like blood, and they look fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I wish we got more fucking squib work, dude.
Agreed.
Shit would look more realistic. But yeah, this scene. Oh, I wanted to comment on their stupid vests, like their bulletproof vests, and the police. They just look like a fucking like a life vest. This big padded blue thing. It looks so weird. I don't know. Was that supposed to be? I couldn't decide if that was like a tactical vest or they're trying to say that was bulletproof. I don't know.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can walk into a fucking Columbia clothing store and get a vest that's that padded. Just for looks.
You can get a North Face.
Yeah, North Face.
Bulletproof already from the factory.
Going hiking on these trails.
It's cougar proof too. So yeah, Clarence comes in because like the redhead says, like, we're gonna have fun with you. No, you're not yet. And he comes in. Are you a? He comes. Everything he says, he's got this poetry to his delivery and to the lines, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, you must be a good cop. Shit, come here alone. You must be some kind of great cop. Well, you know what? Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops. And then I kind of put him on the ground. And then I remember this sticks with you as a kid forever. But they pointing the shotgun at him. And he's holding down his arm with his foot. And then, like that. And he blows his hand off. And I don't know what kind of shotgun that is, but that seems like a dangerously close to have your foot.
Yeah. The spread on that.
Yeah. So I've always thought that. He hits his foot a little bit. Ow! Ow! I lost a goddamn toe! Yeah, and that was brutal, man. Like the little stump. It's just bleeding like a motherfucker. And he plays a good agonizing pain. And he gets up and starts crawling away. Hey, don't go away, cop! And then he turns around, and then they just unload on him with shotguns. And he lives through all of it. He's just boom, 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 boom. He's like just screaming and feeling it. And then Lewis comes and watches some. It was just fucking brutal. He falls to his knees. Like even after they're done shooting, hey, he's still alive. And then he walks up to him, and that's when they. A lot of this is like longer. I watched the unrated, and I think you watched the normal version. They just had to cut scenes down a lot to get to R because they definitely gave him an NC-17 when they first made this movie, which I don't see what the big difference is. Don't you have to be 17 to see an R or an NC-17? Like, what is the death sentence with an NC-17? What's up with that? Why is everyone so afraid of it?
I don't know.
It seems like the same fucking thing. But I did hear Netflix is doing a Marilyn Monroe movie maybe it's not Netflix, but it's going to be NC-17. So that's pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an NC-17 movie. I've seen, well, obviously this would have been unrated, so I guess I technically have, but never one that's straight up, we're NC-17 right out the box. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, where were we on this? He was getting shot.
Murphy's death, basically.
Yeah, he was getting shot like
a headshot. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So in the extended, it's just a little bit longer. So they start the camera at the front, and they kind of start the camera with a gun, and then they kind of pan around. So now it's behind Murphy's head and just blows out, kind of hesitates, and then drops. Oh, it's pretty good. Lots of fucking good effects in this, dude. Like, god dang, this stuff is brutal. Even the stuff that could come off cheesy, like losing a hand, usually you lose a hand in a movie like this, you get a big old stump. You know what I mean? You get their arms curled up in here, and it's kind of like this type of
Right.
stuff. But it looked really good. And so that leads us to the shift to the other plot, which is the OCP stuff, which is like just as good. Like really, it's really cool. Corporate, backstabbing and shit. This guy Dick Jones, he makes Ed 209 's a giant robot. It's gonna hopefully replace the police force and be the perfect cop. And then they have the meeting where he shows it off and in front of the president, and it's the guy, he grabs the gun and Ed 209, that's an awesome. You have 20 seconds to comply. Put down the weapon. And then he puts down the weapon. You have 10 seconds to comply. Oh, what the fuck, man? I put it down. Hey, man.
Dude, the panic in that room is just like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And then he runs to the group of people, and they're fucking shoving him away. Like, no, he's gonna fucking shoot you, man. It's brutal. And then that squib work was what I really fucking, because he's got 50 cows, dude.
Mm-hmm.
50 cows were fucking passive street policing. This motherfucker couldn't fit down an alley. I don't know what the fuck kind of policing is this thing gonna do. It's
Yeah.
Oh shit, he went down a street. I can't follow. Or fucking he went under a bridge. I can't follow. Anyways, he just and it's just fucking shooting for like a minute and a half. And the squibs, they're just blah 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 blah, one on top of another, and he falls on the table, and there's more fucking going off on his laying body, and it's just flailing around. And then finally, they unplug. The guns are smoking. And it's like, fuck, dude, how many squibs do they blow on this motherfucker?
Yeah.
Like that shit looked brutal. Like there were squibs underneath squibs, and it was crazy. That is probably one of the most brutal scenes. That and Murphy.
Yeah. And I love that the first, I think, I'll have to go back and watch it, but I'm pretty sure the first reaction shot we get from the crowd is the old man who just puts his hand over his face and tilts his head. I'm like, that's the first response we get from this awful, awful murder. Pretty funny.
I'm very disappointed in you.
It's a minor setback.
I'm sure it's a glitch. We'll figure it. You call this a glitch? What I like about this is later that giant fucking chrome, 50 cal handgun is still in the fucking meeting room. We find out later.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this other guy, what's the other guy's name? I had to kill Bob Morton. I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. So Bob Morton also works for Security Industries, which is like a subsidiary of OCP. They work on specific stuff inside of OCP, and that's what this Dick Jones is the head of. And so they gave him this contingency plan in case Ed 209 didn't work, which they never thought would happen, in his Robocop program. And so he's just a laughing stock, and no one, it's just bullshit until this happens. And he runs up to the boss, shoots his shot. He's like, I made a contingency plan for just this sort of thing. In my Robocop program, we could have a prototype ready to go in 90 days. He's like, do it. And then we just got to find a schmuck to volunteer. And then it cuts to Murphy being wheeled to the hospital. I don't get it. It's like, is he alive? They're putting oxygen. He's very obviously dead. They got oxygen on him. They're doing him. I don't know. They're trying to say here, we'll call it. You could have called it hours ago, man. It's like I thought they'd just wheel his body in and make him Robocop, but no, it seems like he has some kind of life in him or something.
Yeah, it's funny because I started laughing because the moment when it cuts to Murphy, they're taking him on a gurney out of a helicopter and rush him, get him. I'm like, he's fucking dead. He should be in a body bag. Get him to the hospital now. And it's just no, he's dead.
It's almost like, at first you think they're rushing him to keep his body somewhat alive as far as neural activity, so they can put him in the robot. He's dead, but they need it as fresh as possible. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And, now I think about it, it's like, doesn't he have a human brain? His brain was blown out. I always thought he had a human brain. I mean, obviously a mix, but obviously he doesn't have a full brain. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was kind of confused. They don't really outright say, but just from the positioning of the gunshot, because I saw the edited version of that sequence of him getting shot in the head. It's very quick, and it's like off to the side. But like I said, it happens really quick. And then when he's on the hospital room table, there's like a close up of his eyes open. I think he's like going through flashback shit with his wife, I think, at this point, while they're operating on him. But it shows his head, and like the gunshot is like slightly to the left or right. Like not, it wasn't like a direct middle of the forehead shot. It was like off to the side. So I don't know.
Yeah. And then I like when they're building him and they're showing the arm off. Here, go give it a handshake. Wow, that's 400 foot-pounds. We'll crush every bone in your hand. He's gonna be a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, good news. We were able to save the left arm. What? I thought we agreed in total body prosthesis. Take it off. but can we? And he's like, he signed his life away. We can do whatever we want. Get rid of the arm. Yeah, I don't know why they'd keep an arm, but they use that later in the 2014 one. They keep his arm. Some excuse like so he can like shake hands as a human and have an interaction with a human. That was one of the coolest parts of 2014. Is like what they show you what he is, and like it's his head with like a little brain glass jar, and then there's like they keep the nervous system, and then there's an arm. It's just like floating there, connected with a system to his heart, and that's it. And then he sees himself. No, it's pretty crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. So then they're building them and shit, and that really cool reveal. The first time you see Robocop is like in a monitor that he walks by, and I love the walking of this. Like, dude, as a kid, I was like kind of like a wet robot slop. It's like just showing you how much he weighs, I guess. And and then we get into the cool. It's not much, but like the first crime I love it.
Yeah,
the guy robbing like, give me all your fucking money, lady.
Open the safe.
What? We don't have a safe. That's a fucking safe underneath the beer cans. And then comes in. What does he say? He says something like I don't know, freeze, you're under arrest, but
yeah, something like
Robocop voice. You're under arrest. And then the guy has just fucking the greatest reaction to seeing him. Fuck me. Fuck me. Starts shooting him. Fuck me. Starts shooting him.
Oh yeah, it's the best.
Oh, fuck me. And then he grabs him and throws him into the freezer. Throws him out the front door. Looks back at the owners. Thank you for your cooperation. Hey, fucking ruined our store.
Yeah, it's weird. He throws him in the beer cooler and thank you for your and then walks away. I'm like, you're not gonna arrest him? He just threw him through the beer cooler and walked out. He's still gonna wake up with a machine gun.
That's your mess now. He doesn't quite know how to arrest people yet. It's like, you caused more damage than we had in the goddamn safe. And then the quintessential 80s almost rape.
Oh,
you always got the crazy 80s rapist. Come here, honey. They're more concerned with making jokes about the rape than getting the actual crime committed.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I'll give you all my money. We don't want your money. We want you. There's two of them. They're all grabbing her. And he's like, you got too much hair. And he's like, okay, give her a haircut. And they're just wild. He's like, yeah. He he's got this giant fucking Rambo knife, cuts some of her hair off. And he's like, hey, hold on. She's got more hair down there. And he kind of grabs her skirt thing, dress. And that's when Robocop comes up behind him. And, God, I can never remember what he says, but he always has some good lines. He's like, freeze, creeps, or something like that. And, no, he'll kill her, man. He'll do it, man. Don't come any closer, man. He'll do it. I've known him for years. He's crazy. He already cut her hair off, dude. He'll do it. And so, he's holding her in front of her like that, and then Robocop is like, it shows the directive to, protect the innocent, and then it kind of aims on her crotch, like estimating where her crotch is in the dress, and then 3 bullets under her crotch, through her legs, into his dick. And he drops her, and then and then the friend's like, he shot him in the dick, man. All right, with his hands up. Thank you for your cooperation. Dun, 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 dun.
I wonder if that's the first dick shot in the movie.
It was a good one too. And then I can't remember if it's before this or later, maybe before, but when all the cops see him practicing shooting in the shooting range, and then Murphy's in there, and they're all, I got their saying. He's got this special like gun. It's like a triple fucking shot.
Yeah. That's fucking brutal.
And he's like shooting the fucking targets, and it's just like a hole in the neck, and then the head falls off, and then there's like nothing left of it, and then the cops are, look at that fucking gun. And that's when Lewis starts to think something, because when he's done with that, he flips his gun, and puts it in the. And as a kid, man, was that not the coolest shit? The leg holster, how it opened up and then goes back in. Like, that was the coolest shit. I had a Robocop figure that was like a 12-inch badass, super accurate one, and that one had the fucking leg that would open up, and it was so cool, man.
That's badass.
You get the little ones; they never have that feature because it's just it's too much. But it was fucking cool. So
I feel like they utilized it more in the second movie, if I remember right. That little taking the gun out more.
Yeah, they don't do it too much. And so, like, he has a dream. I think that's around this part. Well, around this time, we also find out that Dick Jones, the head of security concepts at OCP, is now pissed off at Bob for going above his head. And Bob's now been made, like, vice president. Mm-hmm. So he's in the executive lounge, which is just a bathroom. It's like executive lounge on the door. It's a fucking restroom. And he talks shit about Dick Jones while Dick Jones is in the bathroom, and you can see all the other guys, oh shit, like leaving the room. They all know he's in there. And then the other guy pisses his pants. I got a meeting. Fuck. See you later.
The big old wet spot. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And he's like, I remember, this is Dick Jones. I remember calling the boss names. I called him Bubble Butt, Buffalo Ass. He's like, one time I even called him Boner. But there was always respect. I knew where the line was, and you just crossed it, buddy boy. And then he grabs him, like, he's like doing this to him, and like talking to him. He's like, first of all, would you... He's okay with that. He's like, what's he doing? Is he stroking my hair? What the fuck is this? And then as he's combing through his hair, he grabs it in the back. Like, hey, man! Like, it was okay when you were rubbing my hair, but don't get rough, okay? No means no, okay? Consensual. I like it soft. So he was okay with it when he's rubbing through his hair, but as soon as you pull, motherfucker, you better not pull. So he's pissed off. Yeah. But he gets pissed, and then apparently we find out that Dick Jones has Clarence Bodiger on the payroll because goes to a party at Bob's house, and he's got all this coke, and he's got this cool 80s kind of hi-fi house. He's just doing coke with these two strippers, doing it off her tits, and they got coke everywhere, and it's a fun time. And someone knocks at the door. Oh, let me get it. It's part of the champagne. They get a fucking champagne ordered to your house. And anyways, it's Clarence. And then I love it. He's always got a good line as soon as he comes in. Bitches leave. Bye, Bob. Call me.
Yeah. You gonna call me tomorrow?
I always loved that line. Bitches leave. And he comes in and, hey, what do you want, man? Don't and then shoots him in each leg, and those are pretty good swibs too. Makes him fall. Hey, just don't kill me, man. He pops in the CD on his home hi-fi system, which is like 4 CRT monitors, a couple big ass stereo receivers. And then it's Dick Jones. Hey, Bobby, right now you're probably on your knees begging for your life. Sad part is we could have been friends. And then Clarence, of course, being the badass he is, walks over there and lets him finish the tape, and he pulls out a grenade. Who takes out the pin with his fucking tongue and shit, places it on the table, and walks out. And he tries to get over there and fumbles and couldn't get it, and then boom, fucking blows up the house.
Bye, Bob.
So that's the end of him.
Yeah,
that was sad. I liked Bob. He was a pretty cool character. And then, by that point, Robocop had the dream and started to remember his death, right?
And
then
it becomes a revenge movie.
Yeah, and Lewis asks him his name. It's you, huh, Murphy? And then I like Bob when he's like, "What did you say to him? You're gonna fucking take your fucking job, pal. What the fuck did you say?" I asked him his name. You fucking bitch. I think he had problems before that. So yeah, he goes and looks up all the accomplices, and then he goes to arrest the redhead guy. That's a really cool scene I've quoted that scene so much.
Yeah, that's such a great.
The redhead,
you a college boy?
Yeah,
you're pretty smart, don't you?
Hey, give me all the money out the register, man. And he's like, and fill it up on number 2. And I want a tank of gas. And then he goes, don't try anything funny, man. I'm a real good shot, man. I can hit you from the eye from here. He's like over there. And then what you reading anyways? He holds it up. It's like geometry or something. You a college boy? He kind of shakes his head. You must think you're pretty smart, huh? He's like, think you can outsmart a bullet? Do you? Hey, I'm talking to you. He starts kicking the wall. Just gets angrier and angrier. Well, this guy isn't saying a word. It's been nothing but cooperative this whole crime.
He's like working himself up.
Yeah. I'm talking to you. And then he's like, please cease and desist. And then Robocop comes up. Oh yeah, no, he says, dead or alive, you're coming with me. And then he's, kind of jogs his memory. And then that's a really cool scene. He's like, what? We killed you, man! We killed you! He's shooting him, and then Robocop kind of gets dumbfounded by that sentence there.
Yeah.
He's like, oh. He's like, oh no. He already knows this, right? Because that's why he's chasing him down. But hearing it from he straight out of the horse's mouth, oh no.
Too real.
What I suspected is true. And then, he just kind of freezes up, and he's just shooting him, getting hit. And then another thing is fucking ridiculous. Like the gasoline at this place is pink juice going through clear tubing. Okay, all the tubing's clear. It's all pink, and he shoots holes in it. It's like pink juice going out. I don't know what kind of additives or ethanol they're adding to gas in the future, and they're keeping it in clear water hoses. So it's squirting all over him, and then I love when he drives away. He's smoking a cigarette, and he's gonna light him on fire. But first he's like, no, there's too much left. He's like, I gotta get fucking a couple more drags off this bitch. Okay. Then he throws it. It's like, dude, he wasn't ready to throw that butt yet. And he throws it, and then the fucking gas station go boom. And Robocop's walking out of the flame, and I'm just now realizing that the college boy's fucking dead.
Yeah, for sure.
He was in, he's in there burnt up with a book. But and Robocop's walking out of the explosion all cool and then he kind of snaps out of it. Shoots out the tire, fucks him up, dude flies off the fucking bike. And I love it. He comes up. He knows who he is because he looked up known accomplices, and that's how he found him, right? He comes up, who are you? Just holding him. Another thing I wanted to mention, I caught real quick, when they first show Robocop, and it's we'll be able to track him, and they show the little tracker.
Oh yeah.
Like that scene. Did you notice that that's a flat piece of like paper or whatever? It's just a piece of paper with drawn on street lines, and you could tell there's a hole in it with a red LED light protruding, and it's just bloom, bloom, bloom.
Nice.
And it's like I could see it's a light poking through a hole on a very static image. But then later they have it, and it's it's a graphic, and it's like a dot moving, and it's like, why didn't you use that here? You just get this fucking dot poking out. But anyways, he gets him, and then he goes after the kind of Italian guy in the club. Italian guy in the club tries to kick him in the nuts. Oh! And he gets his hair pulled. And anyways, on to the next one.
That's a funny scene. Like he takes the gun flies, and dancers grab it. Yeah, they're like waving, like Raven.
They're still dancing.
They're like clapping as he's getting pulled out, and like I don't know. This is just kind of silly.
Did he go after the black guy?
No,
he didn't go after him.
no.
He did go after Clarence, but Clarence had a coke deal, and that's a good scene because Clarence is trying to play the hard ass with the big coke kingpin, and it's just so funny. He's like, "Come on, I run New Detroit or Old Detroit. If you want to sell, it's got to go through me, and I want a bulk discount. I ain't into discounts." Anyways, and then that one line, we used to use it all the time. Come on, the Tigers are playing tonight. I never miss a game. He sticks his fingers after doing some coke into the dude's wine just to clean out his nostrils. And the guy just approving, like, oh, fuck you, I'm still going to drink it.
Yeah.
He immediately grabs it, takes a drink. And listen, maybe I'm not getting through to you, but I have so much muscle in Detroit, I could stick this whole coke factory so far up your wop ass, you'll be shitting coke for a week. And then he's like, Eddie, shoot this motherfucker!
Yeah, kill these fuckers!
He pulls out the guns. He pulls out their guns. Ooh, guns! It's like, yeah, we could all kill each other. Nobody fucking wins, bro. That's how this usually could end. What are you doing here? Like,
yeah.
I'm just proving a point, man. We all have guns. Yeah, I'm sorry I called you the W word. That was a little over the top. I apologize.
Let's take it back.
I shouldn't have gone after your lineage, your heritage. But yeah, and then Robocop comes in, and he just fucking starts. I love that scene because he's just fucking. This is when the quintessential Robocop, when he's like spin, brr, brr, he's like.
Yeah.
He's like shooting over his shoulder in these weird positions, and the Wilhelm screams and people falling off of fucking balconies and shit. And then man, they just got so many creative deaths in this. Like the coke leader guy in the red shirt, he's standing there and he's kind of shooting, and then Robocop shoots his friend who's got like an AK or something, Uzi, and then that guy gets shot, like, sprays and shoots the coke guy, and this time, fuck. And then he finally gets to Clarence, and he's like, this is one of the coolest scenes, man. It's, you could he's taking out some revenge. You have the right to remain silent. Throws him through a fucking window. Hey, what the fuck is this, man? And I love Clarence. I work for OCP, goddammit!
Yeah, he just spills his guts. Basically.
Yeah, his name is Dick Jones. God damn it! And he's like trying to get his Miranda. He's trying to get his Miranda rights in so he can actually use the info. It's like, you have the right to remember.
There's a Tigers game on tonight. I never miss a game.
God, please! How many fucking windows are in here? Like Robocop went there and had like Windows installed the day before. I work for Dick Jones. He runs OCP. You're a cop. I am a cop. And then he stops from like choking him to death. Takes him down. And I like the black police chief. I'm pretty sure he's like the police chief from like fucking Last Action Hero or some other fucking 80s 90s cop thing. I'm pretty sure. You know, the quintessential pissed off black police chief, like,
yeah. We're not striking. Cops don't strike.
What did I tell you, son of a bitch? And so yeah, he brings him in, and the police chief. Oh yeah, Robocop's like, book him. What's the charge? Turns around slowly. He's a cop killer. Walks out. Dun 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 dun. It's a pretty good theme song, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
like that theme song. So, and then of course, in Clarence fashion, he just spits a giant fucking bloody loogie on the papers on the disc. Give me my fucking phone call. I want to call Dick Jones. He hired me. He's just spilling guts to everybody. You guys ever heard of Dick Jones? I work for him. Oh yeah, and when they're talking about in the beginning in the news, they're showing Clarence Boddicker wanted for murder. It's like now has killed 33 cops. So 33 fucking cops.
Like,
God dang. It's like you guys haven't caught him yet. Like at some point it's your fault. Like 33. No one's ever gotten away with killing 33 people. Period. Let alone cops. It's like look at the biggest serial killers ever in the history of the world. Well, they got like 10 would be like the craziest you've ever heard of. Fucking 33. Those are cops, motherfucker. He's got at least 120. You count everybody. It's like the most ridiculous. He killed over 33 cops.
It's like Jesus Christ.
33. You guys are incompetent, man. Come on. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. He calls Dick Jones with his one phone call, and Dick says, "You really fucked this up, Clarence. Like, don't say anything else." And then he meets him. He gets out. He goes and sees Dick Jones. He's like, "You really fucked up." He's like, "What was I supposed to do? Look at my face, Dick." And he's got all these scars. Mm-hmm. He's like, "He's a fucking cyborg. He recorded everything you said. His memory's admissible in court." And it's on a hard drive. But, and what do you suggest? And he's like, "You're going to have to kill him. Your fucking company made him. Now I got to deal with it." And then, yeah, I'm going to need some major firepower. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They meet up later on a plot to kill Robocop. And this is after, I think Robocop, soon after that, he goes in to arrest Dick Jones, right?
Yeah, right after he drops off, what's his name? Yeah, he goes right to Dick, yeah.
Goes to the OCP building. And goes to arrest him. And Dick Jones sees him coming the whole time. He's watching him on cameras and, press the button, lets him in. Boom. "Oh, hello, officer. Usually I don't see anybody without an appointment. For you, I'll make an exception. You're under arrest." "Oh, really? That's serious. What's the charge?" "Aiding and abetting a known felon." "Well, you better arrest me. That's a very serious charge." And then he just puts his hands out. He walks towards him and starts doing this fucking birding out. Like every time Robocop fucks up, he's just got to do this fucking weird shit where he's just contorting and shit. You can never just like.
Yeah, it's always like
stop.
A shoulder thing.
My back hurts. They gave me robot scoliosis. So yeah, then we see, because earlier we see Prime Directive 1 is like protect and serve. Number 2 is like, protect the innocent, or number 3 is uphold the law, and then it says Prime Directive 4 classified. Now we find out what that is. Mm-hmm. That's what's the matter? And then he's like, that's my little addition to your psychological profile. Prime Directive 4. Any attempt to arrest a senior OCP, officer will result in complete shutdown. It's not complete shutdown, just kind of like
yeah.
It's gonna. So we find that out, and then he's like, "Maybe you'd like to meet Ed 209," and he opens the door, and we get some Ed 209. I know we didn't mention this earlier, but it's a stop motion Ed 209. Yeah. It looks pretty good for the time. Yeah. With the stop motion, there's always some lighting issues. Like that's how you can tell. It's not lit correctly with the room. I mean, it's not that it looks fake. It's just that it's not lit correctly. So that's kind of the giveaway. Some of them you can tell it's stop motion really bad, but this one, it's mostly just the lighting that gives it away. The motion's pretty good.
Yeah, typically in like a wide shot, it looks pretty damn good. It still holds. I think it's when he starts getting funky is when it and it gets a little closser and it walks in front of a human or something like that, where it crosses something, then it kind of shows its date. But looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, and then they do have one real one, I think, but like in the after he kills the guy in the first meeting, like there's a you could tell. Like, I think that's real. They have like a big fake one that doesn't move at all, that can just stand there, because that one looked very real. And then Ed 209 just starts fucking blasting him with his fucking 50 caliber machine gun, just tearing through even Robocop shit, and hits him with his fucking arm. Robocop goes flying, and but then Robocop, it shows him, and he's got the perfect eye hole on his visor broken. He's like looking out. Oh, and it reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. What if they shot him in the face? It's like, what if they shoot Robocop in the face? It's a chance we're willing to take.
Yeah,
we're keeping those lips. And in that scene, he does protect his face, like, because he knows he has a human face. He does this a lot. Like, don't shoot my mouth. That's the only part of me. That's all I have left. I love baby food. He has a very simple digestive system. He eats this rudimentary paste.
So fucking gross.
And I like when they cut it off. It's like a terrible valve system. It's like all of still stuck on the outside. It's like, this is gonna get gross about 4 days in. It's
like disgusting. An ice cream maker, basically.
but and it's just, and it's like, you want some? No, knock yourself out. It tastes like baby food.
And he keeps dips it like 3 times.
yeah, that's pretty good. What is this, rhubarb? Okay.
Yeah, at the OCP, it's another kind of. I mean, it's not grotesque violence, but another fucked up scene is he escapes the robot attack and he makes it out of the parking lot, and there's just like fucking 50 cops, and they all just unload into him for like a good 5 minutes. Like, it goes on for so long.
Yeah, they make you feel bad for him because now it's happening again, but from his own fucking people, right? And then one of them, that they like crazy Mexican cop was always talking about, we should strike, man. He's a fucking cop, for God's sakes.
He's one of us.
And then it's like, you get, no one's like with him. We're told to destroy him. Oh, fuck it. I fucking tried to help you. Don't say I didn't try.
Oh shit.
That's super funny. But yeah, they're shooting him, and it's sad. He's like crawling away. No, like protecting his mouth again. He's just getting shot up. And they're in like a parking garage, so there's like multiple layers, and like he's just rolling down the little thing on the it's like the ramp where you would go up. So it's got the rail, and he's just rolling down to get lower and lower. And then finally he rolls down, and he hits the ground, and this cop car stops, and it's Lewis. Murphy, are you okay? Picks him up, gets him in the car. And I have heard that he couldn't get in a car with that suit. And I think like every shot of him is like just driving the car. It's like him waist up. I think they couldn't have the full suit on in the car. Because like even when he gets out of the car, I'm pretty sure they don't have any scenes of him actually, it's always like the door opening and him stepping, right? Like the quintessential like cover art for this is like the door opening and him stepping out. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. Like they had to like remove so much shit to even get him in the car to show driving sequences. But yeah, she saves him, takes him to this place, and buys him some baby food, which he shoots with a gun. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm not hungry. No, thank you. I've never seen you eat. You should eat.
Yeah, for fuck's sakes.
And then it's pretty cool. He takes his helmet off. It's like, you may not like what you see. And he has the drill. That was a cool scene because they show the pin coming out of the helmet's like that long. So it's like obviously going into it'd be in his brain. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoop. That was a cool effect because it looked super realistic. And then they takes one out of the other ear and takes the helmet off. And so the helmet appears to me to be just that top part, right? With the eye visor, and it's just that. Yeah. He takes out like a bowl. He takes that off, and all of a sudden he looks like Darth Vader underneath the mask. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But where'd all the black part go that was on your neck? Now that's all gone for some reason. I never understood, like, where'd that go? Then the metal part on the back of your head that, you know, like that helmet didn't cover that. But all of a sudden there's all this shit showing and technical stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the effect is super good.
It looks really fucking good. Yeah, dude.
Looking like it's like sewn or, you know, attached to the robot rather than the robot attached to a human. Like it looks like they put his fucking face on this thing, and it's like dude, it looks
I was
good,
trying
man.
to figure out how the fuck they did that. Like, because there's certain shots where like they show it from the side, and like you see the line between the skin and the helmet. It's just like, how the fuck do they make it so seamless? It looks awesome.
Yeah, they obviously had to like latex and then raise, you know, make it come to a lip so they could get that depression to make it look like, but man, it looks good.
Badass, yeah.
And then
get the showdown.
Get the showdown, and that's another thing I heard. Like at the end where Lois is in that body of water, I heard that like that was just freezing cold, and I think she got like pneumonia or something from having to sit in it all day. Yeah. And so they come. They have these guns, right, that they got from Dick Jones, because they pull up, and I love it. It's like because the cops strike, so everyone's just running amok, and they're fucking the redhead guy's watching this show outside a TV shop, laughing his ass off. Hey, I'll buy that for $1.
The same episode, the same scene, over and over.
Yeah, and people are making noise next to him. Fucking gets pissed, like throwing shit so he throws a bottle through the fucking window of the place he's watching, and then he just turns the TV up, sits back down, and then Clarence shows up, and then you know, the token black guy shows up, and he's in it. They have this commercial for the 6000 SUX, which is like the coolest car in the movie. And it's like, and it shows Godzilla, and then all of a sudden, Big is back. The 6000 SUX, an American tradition, 8.4 miles per gallon. And anyways, he pulls up. He's like, yeah, they let me out of jail. Look what I found in the parking lot. An SUX sticker still on it. Ah! And then the Italian guy says, hey, look, he's got the same car as you, Clarence. And Clarence is like, fuck this. I'm the fucking leader. This is selfish bastards. Like, ain't nobody gonna have a cool car. I don't care if he stole it. Anyways, let me show you something. He points the gun at his car, blows. Clarence, no! Fuck your car. No one's allowed to have a cool car but me. I thought that was a funny scene. But anyways, it shows that these guns, like, you shoot. I forget what they're called. It's like, this is the tactical hell cannon or something.
Yeah, it's like a rocket launcher, basically.
Yeah, they shoot one bullet and it's like a grenade. So they're going down there. They tracked him because Dick Jones gave him the tracker, so they're down there. And Robocop sees him coming in. He goes up on the balcony, and he does the rope-a-dope. Throws a piece of metal down there. Ting ting. Ah! Blow a hole in the wall. I don't see how that helped his situation, because he just let them know where he was. Yeah. right after. That wasn't me. That was a piece of metal I threw.
Yeah. Well, that was the
Fooled
point.
You.
Yeah, if you're just gonna say looking for me, it's like, why don't you start there?
That's like the Last of Us. You sneak in, you throw a rock. Ha ha, bitch! Hey, you give away your position. Looking for me, and then they shoot up there, and he kills one of them right then. The guy gets killed right there.
Oh yeah.
And then they move on.
The Toxic Avenger. Yeah. We gotta do the fucking.
Yeah. I don't remember how that happens. He's driving the truck, right? And then he tries to like ram Robocop.
Yeah.
And then Robocop's like brrr, and it kind of spins out of the way. And then the truck hits the fucking vat of acid like fucking Batman. Mm-hmm. Green juice and purple juice coming out. and then he like gets washed out the back of the truck, which was awesome. Like that's a fucking awesome. He crashes into the back, then whoosh out the back doors.
Yeah.
Ah!
Dude,
And that effect
so
was fucking awesome.
crazy, yeah.
Like you can just finger his bone tips are like coming through the fingers and they're melting. And yeah, this fucking prosthetic work in this shit is like amazing. Why don't they do this shit in movies anymore, man? But yeah, it's totally the Thing, dude. Some tentacles gonna come out of him, and then he comes up to the Italian guy. Help me! Don't touch me, man!
So fucked
and then
up.
Clarence is in a car chase with Lewis in his SUX, and she's in the cop car, and they peel around the corner, and like he's really selling this too. The redhead guy, like hobbling, and his coat's like even melting. Like the leather jacket he has on is like drooping. Everything's fucking drooping. And then he fucking gets hit by the car, and it's just soup, just like a fucking hitting a water balloon.
Yeah.
I just loved it. Like, God damn it! Puts on the fucking wipers.
Apparently, it's raw chicken soup and gravy. A mixture of all that, yeah.
Raw chicken soup. That's what they said it was.
Yeah. Raw chicken soup and gravy.
How did they do that? They just slop it on the car, because it's a really good transition from obviously being a figure, a mannequin, and then it being liquid.
Yeah.
So it's really good editing in this, man. Like some of this, the scenes and the cinematography, it sells this as a more important movie than it is, right? Like Verhoeven during some of the flashback scenes and when he's getting made into Robocop, and he's showing his eyes and going back, and it's just really well shot.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. Like better than a movie like this typically is. But Verhoeven was kind of doing more serious stuff before this, and then he kind of went down the path of this and Starship Troopers, Total Recall,
and Showgirls.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen that in forever, dude. I should watch that. But yeah. And then finally, the Clarence Bodiger face off is in that pool we were talking about, and then the Italian guy goes up to get a sniper spot. So Clarence is kind of buying time, right? And he's buying time. He's like, "Yeah, you're taking this kind of personal, aren't you, pal? I mean, come on, man. This is my job. I gotta kill cops. You're one of 33. Don't take it so personal, my friend." And then yeah, he's buying time. Would you think he's buying time for that guy to go snipe him, but he doesn't? He's like, "Oh, it's a fucking crane up here. Shit." Moves the fucking crane of like heavy shit over Robocop and drops it on him. Crushing him, we think. And then what happens? Yeah, Lewis, there's one of those sniper rifles by her, and she's been shot a couple times. So she crawls to it and shoots the little sniper position he's in him. And I love that too, because the guy's like, "Clarence, I got him!"
Yeah, the whole thing demolished.
And Clarence kind of seems like he actually cared about that one. He's like, "Oh no, oh no, not Vinny." Which is weird that she shot that and didn't shoot Clarence, I thought.
Yeah.
Because then she just kind of collapses, and Robocop is underneath some metal, and Clarence goes over there and he's like, "Oh, what am I gonna get? Not the gun, no, not the rock. I'm gonna get this metal tube."
Yeah.
So he goes to beat him. And then I love Robocop does the most ridiculous the most ridiculous defense.
Moving his arm, yeah.
It's like a Thai bow, like, "Stop!" It's like a stop.
Wax on. Wax
like
off.
a self defense fucking video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then he. Oh yeah, I like what he said before. He's like, "Hey, you're taking this kind of personal, man." And he's like, "I'm done arresting you." And what do you mean, man? What do you mean you're done? I'm gonna murder you. And then how does he?
I don't remember
think
how
he
he gets
come-
the upper hand. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes in a little close or something, and then RoboCop does his "fuck you" finger, or his finger, and he gets this piercing thing. It's like he uses to jack in to
Oh
things.
yeah, that
Oh,
little yeah.
yeah, the little jack in spear like fucking R2 has. But his is sharp as shit for some reason. It's like, here, this is your data knife. Shove it into the CPU. And then yeah, he just gets him in the neck and just blood, 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 and then a bunch of blood. Like he do it, and then it pans right back down to RoboCop, and it's like someone just had a big bucket of blood and went like,
Wow, that was way different. So I guess in the
Really?
theatrical, yeah, it actually I was surprised how violent this movie is. That scene actually happens off screen. That stab does. I think you hear it and you see the motion of it, and then you see what's his name kind of walk away, and he's holding his neck, and it's splurting blood, and that's it. But the actual stab, I believe, happens off screen. You just see the motion of it, and then he kind of walks away. And
Oh yeah. Did they show all the blood falling on RoboCop?
no,
Oh yeah, there was a lot. It was like borderline. Probably should have done a little less. Like seriously, like someone took a cup like this, maybe a little bigger cup than that, and just kind of it pans. He stabs him, and it's an upper shot, stabbing him in the neck, and then he grabs and kind of walks away, and it kind of pans. It doesn't pan back; it's a jump shot from that directly to looking down on RoboCop's chest, and it's just like just like a giant, big ass dollop, just all over him. And even RoboCop, I felt like was like, "Whoa, shit, that's a lot." So yeah, unrated definitely had more of that part.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
And yeah, I got this fucking at the dollar store. RoboCop.
What? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's at the fucking dollar store, Blu-ray, unrated, with a bunch of bonus features, dude. It's got Flesh and Steel making a RoboCop, creating a legend, 1987 featurette, The Boardroom, storyboard with commentary, special effects then and now, villains of old Detroit, deleted scenes, commentary of Paul Verhoeven. It's like it's got a bunch of shit. And I already owned it, apparently. I forgot. And then I came home, I was like, oh shit, I already have this. Oh fuck. It was $1. And then Jesse was just going through our DVDs yesterday because I was looking for the 2014 RoboCop. She's like, why do you have two of these? I was like, because I didn't remember I had it, and it was at the dollar store. I bought it. And she's like, we're getting rid of one. And she gets rid of the open one. I was like, why would you get rid of the open one? I was like, well, keep the newer one. It's unopened.
Yeah.
It's cool. Anyways, I opened it yesterday to put it up here to do this. But yeah, dollar store. I always look at the movies at the dollar store. Very rarely I'll find something, but you never know.
Yeah,
Never know.
That's a good find.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so that's the end of the movie. Oh, and then that's not the end of the movie. He has to go fucking get Dick Jones, you bitch.
Very quick
So
scene.
he goes
at the
back
end,
to he has to go back to OCP and arrest Dick Jones. So he goes there, and he's all fucked up. He's got no helmet on. He goes in the boardroom. Oh, I can't remember what the president says. He's something like, "Hello, officer. How can we help you?" I'm here to arrest Dick Jones. He's wanted for murder. Oh, those are serious charges. What is your evidence? And then he goes over to the monitor, sticks his robot knife into the fucking, and then he says, I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. And then I love it goes to the black guy who was Bob Morton's friend.
Yeah.
And he's just like, motherfucker! You can just see in his eyes, this son of a bitch! You fucking cocksucker. You can just tell he's flabbergasted at the info and also very pissed. Because he made a mistake. I'm here to correct that mistake. And then he keeps playing it. I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. I had to kill Bob Morton because he made him. I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. And then he keeps going back to his black friend. It's just like... It's so funny. And he's like, I'm here to arrest you. And later on, I don't remember what part, it goes back to the friend of his when he says he's here to arrest him, and the black guy's just kind of like, yeah, motherfucker. And he's just like, he gets the face of like approval for RoboCop, and finally he's getting his comeuppance. And My programming does not allow me to arrest a senior officer at OCP. And then he grabs the old man, and he grabs that 50 caliber gun that the guy had in the other meeting, which is still in the office for some fucking reason in a box. They never. It's a fucking piece of evidence in a murder investigation, right? Or at least gross negligent workplace accident, at least.
Yeah.
It's
just in a box.
It's still sitting in there. And he grabs it. I'll kill the sweet old man. I want a helicopter on the roof. And then he's the old man is smart, so he's like, Dick, you're fired. Thank you. Just shoots around him. He's really good at shooting around the hostages.
Yeah.
He shoots him, and then I always loved this scene where he falls out the fucking. Oh yeah, I think it's when he shoots him. It goes back to the friend. Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Woo!
Woo!
I love these boardroom meetings.
This shit's exciting. And then, man, I wish Bob was here to see this. Shoots him, and then he falls out the window. Ah! And then he has some weird fake. I don't know how they filmed everything else. Everything in this movie looks really good except this.
Yeah.
Like how falling out the windows. Like his arms look like they're super long and.
It looked like a Stretch Armstrong doll. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know how they filmed that or what kind of technique that was. I can't tell, but it looked like shit. That's the worst. Yeah. That's the worst effect in the movie. And to end it on that kind of sucks. But I remember always making fun of that. You know, over at TJ's house and stuff. Who'd watch it? Look at his fucking arms. Like he's reaching out back to get himself back in the window. Inspector Gadget.
Dick Jones's fatal flaw is shown by a stop-motion puppet of Cox, animated by Roke. So it's a stop-motion puppet. Weird.
Ugh. Bad. Didn't look good.
Oh wait, here, hold on. It goes on for a second. The limited development time meant the puppet guy used a foam rubber puppet with an what is it? Aluminum skeleton instead of a higher quality articulated version. I don't know. Seems like he was rushed for time. You can tell. It looked a little rough.
It's got like a fucking pipe cleaners as the skeleton. It's like little twisty, bendy straws and shit. I used whatever I could around the house. I had a couple bendy straws, a couple nuts, bolts, a couple toothpicks.
So good.
Fucking napkin. I made a suit out of a napkin. And a felt marker. Yeah, so this movie holds up, man. It's really fun. It's a real quick watch, like you said. I mean, I would be happy if they spent 45 minutes more on each part of this movie.
Yeah.
OCP, the development of Ed 209, the development of Robocop, Murphy before he's Robocop. You could add another 4 hours to this movie, probably, and I'd still be watching it. Because it's like, these are interesting things that I want to know. It's like the story and background is cool enough to do it. So, you know, a good movie always leaves you asking questions and wanting more because the world is so interesting. So, I love that.
Yeah, for a movie that almost has no character development for anybody. I mean, it's very a plot-heavy movie. Typically, I mean, obviously we want both of those. We want character development and plot, but at least if you're going to go hard in one direction, at least go hard in one direction. I think they did, to where I think it still works. Yeah, I think the violence is at moments unsettling, but over top enough where you have fun and it's ridiculous. There's moments in this movie where it does, like, the melting man has no business being in this movie, but the fact that it is fucking awesome. And yeah, just the special effects, the squib work. Apparently, as I was kind of reading here, I have the Wikipedia up on the special effects and design section of Wikipedia. And apparently the scene you're describing with the executive being killed by the EDO 209, I guess he had 200 squibs attached to him.
Jesus Christ. Like, how do you even have that many attached to you and not look like you're wearing a fucking puffy ass suit? You know what I mean?
Right.
Jesus.
But yeah, just all that stuff holds up. It's a fun ride. It's a very quick. It doesn't slow down at all. It's very memorable. I don't know. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and the suit is fucking iconic too. I mean,
Yeah,
we talked much about that. That suit looks so great. Like,
that's
still,
badass.
if you use that suit today, like they tried to do it in RoboCop 14 and do it different, wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good. And they made it all black. And I think for like one scene, they show it like, well, what if we did silver? And they're like, no, let's do it black. And I was like, what? No, do it silver. You stupid ass.
Yeah, there's
But
even
yeah,
scenes
this.
in this movie that like there's fun that we didn't get, just like brief stuff we didn't get into, but there's the one where they're doing a montage of him going through all these arrests, and there's like this political guy who's holding up City
Oh
Hall,
yeah.
and that whole scene is fucking great. And he's like, "I want a 2000 SUV." Okay, we'll get
Yeah.
you one. Oh, it needs to have terrible gas mileage.
What
Don't jerk
about
me off.
cruise control? Yeah, anything you want. Anything you. Hey, don't jerk me off. You people get hurt when I get jerked off. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Last person that
man.
jerked me off, we got divorced, okay?
Yeah, that whole
Didn't
scene's
work out
great.
for her. And then at the end, RoboCop, that scene just throws him out the window, and it's like 4 stories up. And then it's like, there's a new cop on the scene, RoboCop, and it shows him throwing the guy out the window, saves the day.
So good. Yeah, this movie is fantastic. It was a blast to rewatch. It's been a while since I've seen it. I do want to watch the remake. That's the only RoboCop that I haven't seen in like the mainline movies. I haven't seen the shows, but I've seen 2 and 3. The only thing I remember about 2 is that the ED 209 is in the movie more, and I also remember this little bastard kid in the movie who's like a gangster kid. But other
They
than
like
that,
reprogram him, don't they?
I think so.
Like
There's
gentle
like
as a puppy.
a big action scene between him and that machine at the end. I remember. And 3, I barely remember. I remember he flies. I remember renting it on VHS. But I want to watch the remake to see what they do with it differently. It is PG-13, which kind of bums me out, but whatever. I'm sure as long as it's entertaining.
Like I said, there's some interesting concepts that I liked. I think it would have been much better if it was just a sequel. Maybe a company down the line like tries to revive the RoboCop line and do it again. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Instead of just trying to be it probably would have worked better. But there's some interesting stuff like their Ed 209 type thing, like they're using in Afghanistan, and they show some really cool war like stuff using it. And the cool stuff, like I said, showing RoboCop exactly what of him is human, like revealing it, and that was cool. The guy does a pretty good job. They go more into his relationship with his wife. Pretty sure he speaks with his wife after he's RoboCop, so that's kind of cool because you don't.
Oh, nice.
The wife isn't in RoboCop at all. I wish they would have done something in this one because there's like Murphy had a wife. What happened to her? She moved away after you died. It's like she thought you died. She started a new life. It's like, wouldn't we want to check in? You know what I mean? Now that he's starting to realize, he's got a kid.
Yeah.
You can make it work. Pull out that robo. Come on, baby. But I wish they would have won it more. So 14 is fun. I could watch it from time to time. It's got Rorschach in it as like an asshole OCP guy who hates RoboCop and is always trying to prove that it's stupid to put a human in it, and so he's always fucking with him.
Yeah, it looks like a good cast. I see Michael Keaton in there and fucking Gary
yeah.
Oldman. There's a lot
Michael
of people in
Keaton
there.
is like the Bob Morton kind of character.
Mm.
And then it's got Samuel L. Jackson. It's constantly in and they do a lot of the commercials type stuff with Verhoeven stuff where it's like showing footage.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I like Joel
check it out.
Kinnaman
It's
a lot.
interesting.
I like
I like him.
The guy from Suicide Squad. He's
a
good actor.
Yeah, I like him. So, a score. Woo-wee! It's a good one, man. I love it. Still to this day. You can always pop this in every once in a while and have a good time. When you feel like a good rated R movie, you know what I mean? This and like Terminator and Terminator 2 are some of my favorite go-to rated R movies. Total Recall is a good go-to rated R. Predator.
Yeah,
I don't even
Predator
know.
for sure.
I don't know if Predator's rated R. Is it? I think it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's got some gruesome stuff. Like some of the when I think rated R action, this is definitely like one of the ones that pops up in my head. I'm gonna give it an 8.6. I think this movie is amazing, and it has no reason to be. It just is. Like everything works. That the story is interesting. The characters are, like the design is very interesting in a time where robots were like, Terminators and stuff. Like everybody, and this was a cool twist on it. Like he's part human. It's not like Terminator, but it's close enough to get people interested that like Terminator. Yeah, it's totally different and interesting world. Everything's interesting, even though they don't give you too much. It's still a great film. It looks great. It ages well. Like all this political commentary and stuff. Like it ages well. That's just amazing, man. 8.6. I love it.
Yeah, we are very close. I'm giving it 8.5. Yeah, it's an 80s gem. It's everything that you just said. I agree with. Yeah, I mean, you've already touched on it, but I would have been a little stronger if they would have given Murphy a little more backstory. I think it would have improved the revenge part of the movie if you would have kind of known his family life a little more. We'd be a little more kind of like that black guy at the end and cheering Robocop on, But the fact that we don't get that is kind of a bummer. But so this doesn't get the heights of like Terminator does. I think Terminator is overall just everything that Terminator does is a complete package. But this is still like an 80s classic. It's fucking hard R. It's gruesome, violent. It has things to say thematically. And it has things to say about corporatism and corporate power and violence. And so it's a lot of satirical stuff that's fun. Yeah, the special effects, the suit. It's all just fucking great.
Yeah. Right on. So 8.5, 8.6. And this is you can tell the quality of the movies. Our reviews usually take a little longer because we like to talk about it. So I feel like this has been a long one. Pretty sure we've been in here an hour and a half.
Hour and a half,
or something like that. But yeah, so great. Thanks you guys for enjoying and watching. We appreciate it as always. Check us out on Spotify, on Apple Music, as always on YouTube. Today's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, so enjoy the Super Bowl. We got the Bengals and the Rams. Go Bengals. And go Rams. I don't want to alienate any fans. You know what? Everyone just have fun. Just play and have fun.
Be safe and have fun.
Yeah, that's what counts. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining. Until the next Vs, we say
peace.